What is up, guys? Marshall here and welcome to another Road to Perfection episode. This is the squad I left you with last time. Mata coming in. He is my first rare gold player. Now I'll be looking to add to that, possibly with a striker in this episode. So let's get straight into it. This is the first team I come up against. It isn't the best team in the world. It's got a bit of pace in there with the likes of Walcott, Oxlade, Chamberlain, but it's not too fancy, and I thought going into this game I should simply just roll over the opposition. Mata then, he came close deep into the second half, and honestly that is the best that I did. I couldn't get through him. He was a great opponent. This is a great team goal. Completely underestimated him, and in fairness to the lad, he got the win he deserved. He's a bit excited on the celebration with Kagawa, but victorious nonetheless, so I'll have to wait till I can upgrade. And this is the second team I come up against. It's a Dutch side. It's got a bit of pace in there with the likes of Hasselbank, which you'll see in just a second just how fast he is. I honestly didn't think he was actually this fast. He's up against Akiza then, who he completely blitzed. Unlucky with the effort, but it fell to Schneider, who put it in the far corner. The keeper was running the other way, so it wasn't really the keeper's fault. He did the best he could with the save, and it was a smart finish from my opponent. But I do come straight back into the game. 20 minutes on the clock. Isaac Kowenka on this right hand side. I just work it all the way across. Pardon me. I find Mata, and Mata strikes, gets the goal. Finally, he didn't score in the last game. He was the standout player, but he does get his first goal for the club into the second half then, and yet again it's Juan Mata pulling all the strings. He's unfortunate there, but it falls to Canales, and when it falls to Canales, there's always going to be a goal at the end of it. He's a machine in front of goal. He's got a great left foot. That was with his right foot as well, and he wins me the game, so I can upgrade a player. And unfortunately, it's going to be Rodrigo. I've only had him for a couple of games, but I think I need a, well, putting it lightly, a better striker. And we have Fernando Torres coming in up front. Hopefully he can play much better for me. I can maybe see the Liverpool Torres than the Chelsea Torres that everyone's used to at the moment, where he can't hit a barn door. But hey ho, his stats are better than Rodrigo's. He's got a similar amount of skill moves, I think, stars, maybe 4. But look at that team. He debuts against that. That's probably the best defensive unit I've seen on this game. That is absolutely amazing, and it was just so hard to play against. I mean, I couldn't get through. His defence was solid. He was a great player himself. He does take the lead with Daniel Sturridge there, smashing it in at the near post. And this was one of the hardest games I've played on this year's FIFA. Simply with all those informs at the back, it was always going to be a struggle to get through. This time though, Canales, he dispossessed, I think it was Koscielny, deep in the field, and that's a brilliant finish from Sergio, cutting inside with the chop before smashing it on his left foot. But late on, 90th minute, I thought I held out, taking in extra time. Stupid challenge from me, and it was Lucas that rifled that straight into the top corner. So it was 90th minute heartache for myself, and unfortunately yet again there's another defeat. So many defeats at the minute. I just can't seem to get out of this kind of rut thing, and that is the team when you're in this kind of form you don't want to play against. In form Neymar up front. He's got informed David Luiz like my last opponent, and this was just as difficult. This guy was a brilliant player. He had me all ends up. He makes it 1-0 then. Great strike from Neymar after a decent amount of skill, and yet again he's down the left hand side with Neymar. This time it's a penalty. I'm not even going to dispute that. That's a stone wall penalty. I don't know what I was doing. I think I was just trying to close down the angle with Akiza, but it was a definite penalty. He puts it on Ronaldinho then, this penalty, and I really disappointed myself with this. I should have saved it. Once you see that kind of run up, you know he's going to chip it. Why did I dive? It's just nonsense. I should have just stood still and I would have saved it. But unfortunately I didn't. But I do come back in the game in the second half. It's Fernando Torres, and he just takes it to the side of the keeper and taps it in. And that's me back in the game. It was a bit of a simple goal, but that is exactly what I needed to get back in this match. Now this goal is just complete luck. Great build up though, but what Naxto Monreal is doing there, I'll never know, but he scores the goal. It pulls me right back in the tie. It's 2-2 now, and I've got a real head of steam. My opponent just doesn't seem able to handle me at this moment in time. Again, I dispossess him here. Great little challenge. I think that's from Ander Herrera. and he runs on. I find him with Torres, and that's a great finish. Great team goal. And from being 2-0 down, I'm now 3-2 up with 6 minutes left, and I did manage to hold out. It's a great victory for myself to get us out that run of defeats, and I can now upgrade, and it's Akiza that's going. He gave away a penalty in that game. He was pretty sloppy the whole game, to be honest. Again, you seen in the match before that get completely outpaced, so I've went for something a little faster, and Sergio Ramos is the man. The guy is possibly one of the best centre-backs on the game, definitely the best Spanish centre-back on the game. Got a great amount of pace, brilliant at defending, he's good in the air. And that's it for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop a like if you did, and I'll see you guys next time.